Welcome to Fundraising is Funny. I'm Lynn Wester.
And I'm Clay Buck.
Join us to share in laughter and stories as we take a lighthearted look at the profession that we love so much, fundraising.
Because sometimes we just have to laugh at ourselves.
Laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. Take a moment, take a listen. Hey, this could even be called self-care.
Bring your favorite beverage and a yummy snack.
In reality, we're here to deliver on our promise. We're going to make you laugh or cringe. And if you learn something too, bonus.
See, we're serious fundraisers. We believe in this work, but we also know we do some really ridiculous things all in the name of raising a dollar. Maybe if we laugh at and with them and at ourselves, we can bring a little joy to everybody in our sector.
Now, don't worry. In that pursuit of joy, we won't name names, but the stories we share are 100% real life in the world of nonprofit fundraising.
Because, come on, fundraising is funny. Okay, Lynn, you're sitting right next to me. Okay, fundraising is funny means that there has to be engagement. Okay, so see, I have this expectation as your co-host that when we go on and the microphone is hot, that you respond. Am I off here? Should I not be expecting this?
I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fine. Fine is actually an acronym. It stands for things. I'll let you go Google that. It's kind of like Dilligaf, but different. Anyway, you're fine.
I don't know why you're expecting a response from me.
Because we agreed to do this thing. We're in this together.
Really?
We're in it together. We committed to do this thing. Actually, it was your idea. Actually, it was a joint idea, wasn't it? Anyway,
we did not have joints. There were no joints.
No, that is not our style. No, but we came up with it and we committed to do this thing. And we said we are going to do it.
Did you ask me to do it with you?
I did. We invited each other into this. We agreed to do it.
So kind of like when we asked donors to give to us?
Oh.
Then what happens when the donor does? What's my expectation?
Well, we go and do the thing.
Well, I told you we were going to do it.
We can't. I mean, we need the money.
You need the money.
We need the money.
So is that why we're doing this podcast?
Because we need the money. No. But thank you to our sponsors that do make it happen.
We're very grateful.
Truly, because it wouldn't happen. Really,
Cause
literally wouldn't happen without them.
What are you expecting from me, Clay? What do you want me to do?
I want you to be a part of this with me.
Okay, but every time you talk to me, you're asking me for something.
Yes, but I need those things.
Right, I get that, but I have needs too.
I need those things.
Should we go to marital counseling? It sounds like what I hear you saying.
Is there a podcast coupling counseling?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so you have needs, I have needs.
We all have needs.
Right.
Well, but yeah, but I'm busy.
Okay.
I'm busy. I'm only one person. I can only do so much.
Congratulations. I'm glad you don't have multiple personalities.
I'm burnt out. I'm tired.
Okay, but I thought we had agreed.
I'm busy. I got too much to do. Busy.
Wow, I'm fine.
Busy.
Everything's fine.
Busy.
Are you also let me say you're under-resourced too, I'm sure.
Under-resourced.
And you don't like your database.
I really, no, my database is terrible. I don't want to be flippant because people are busy and burnt out and we are under-resourced. And that is 100% true.
It's a nonprofit industry. I've yet to meet a nonprofit that says they have tons of cash, tons of staff, and lots of free time.
No, I have yet to meet.
And love their database.
I have yet to meet a fundraising professional that goes, no, I got plenty of time. Yeah, sure, I can take that on.
So what are we trying to get at here? Like what was the whole I'm fine?
Well, I think that there's some stuff that's been out there.
Bubbling.
And I think that enough time has passed that we can kind of acknowledge that it's funny, but it's not.
It's funny. So I think you're talking about the article.
Let's name names because we did promise. We did promise that fundraising is funny, but that we would address tough issues.
Yeah. I mean, so there was an article a while ago that caused up quite a dust up on fundraiser social media and in the verse, the
multi-platform
verses.
Yes.
Where a donor said,
a donor posted an op-ed.
Yep.
In one opinion.
And he said that this is why I've stopped donating to your organization. I make donations. They are between $1,000 and $5,000 to see how you respond, because I want to build a relationship. I'm passionate about helping young people in education. And he didn't receive gratitude. He didn't receive sometimes anything, crickets.
Yeah. Here's the thing that, and as you and I were prepping this, we reread this op-ed, and you and I both noticed that we had not really connected to before that.
Sentence number two.
Sentence number two. Sentence number one was I support nonprofits that help low-income young people thrive in their education. Sentence number two. Pitch me if you run a successful one. Literally in the second sentence of the op-ed.
I want to be more generous.
I want to be more generous, right? Reach out to me because I'd be willing to talk to you and support you.
I want to be more generous. However, I have an expectation that I should hear from you after I give you money.
Right.
There should be a yin and yang, a relationship. And one of the things I should hear from you is that you appreciate it and received my donation.
Right.
And boy, oh boy. And the letter from this gentleman said, and if I don't receive the donation, then it's my choice to stop supporting you as a donor. That's it.
That's it.
Here are some suggestions. Now, look, feedback's one thing, but at my expectation as a donor, that's what this gentleman was saying, is that they hear from you again, that they're thanked. And you know what? It happens all the time.
Sure.
But this person is giving $1,000 to $5,000. I've given $25 all the way up to 5-figure gift and never heard from a nonprofit before.
Let's put it this way.
Is that unrealistic?
This donor published their opinion in a prominent industry journal.
Their personal opinion
in a prominent industry journal. Most donors are very prominently publishing their opinion on this. And we are seeing it through something called the Fundraising Effectiveness Project, which shows us that donor retention rate is less than 45%.
Yeah, and first-time donor retention rate is less than 20%.
Right? And many donors aren't saying it, but many are. I don't give because I didn't hear anything.
Did this donor say adamantly that they want you to stop your work and praise them enthusiastically, throw them a parade? Did they say, I want you to stop spaying and neutering animals. I want you to stop educating young people. I'm more important than the work?
They did not. Now, in fairness, reading that op-ed, you could say, and indeed I took some of the language as a bit arrogant.
Okay.
It did come across to me as a bit demanding, a bit arrogant, a bit kind of, okay, well, thank you. And have you acknowledged at all, right? Other elements going on.
But it's just their personal opinion.
Correct.
Right. And they are a giver. It'd be different if it was coming from someone who doesn't donate. I do so love so very much when people come into our sector and complain about the way things are done that have no background in it. Well, and the other thing is
I'm going to say this with love. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm going to say this with love. I really, really do mean this in love and respect. I really don't need donors' opinion on how the work of fundraising is done. I'm sorry that you, donor, didn't respond well to that tactic. Okay, we understand that didn't respond well with you, but that doesn't mean that the tactic itself, and you hear this a lot, like on boards and others.
Yeah, I'm not your audience.
Right. I get so much direct mail, therefore we should stop doing direct mail ever because nobody responds to it. Okay.
Okay, that's just my opinion.
That's
just
your
kidding.
Reaction to I didn't mean to call you out on that.
No, it's like, but that's my opinion to my response of giving online.
So code you as do not mail, but as my organization that's running very successful direct mail, just because you don't like it doesn't mean, okay.
Right. Or maybe it's don't send me mail with an envelope when I've never put anything in an envelope for you. Maybe it's send me a QR code so I can give online.
It's these grand sweeping gestures from well-meaning but uninformed opinions.
But let's focus on this guy.
Correct.
Is his grand sweeping gesture of focusing on donors that aren't just mega donors and giving, he is asking for the expectation of gratitude.
Can I share with you the perspective with which I read this when it first came out?
Sure.
Because I read it before I had seen anybody's reaction to it. I just
Me too.
Having my coffee, reading through my morning stuff. It was in there,
and
I read it, and I went, "Ouch, dude! That's a little wow." Okay, maybe soften the words a bit, but
he's
hey,
right.
You know what? We heard this from Penelope Burke and Cygnus Research for decades. The number one response to donor surveys that Penelope Burke and Cygnus Research did was the number one thing donors ask for is, I want to know that my gift was received before you asked me for a new one. This is data. We have data on this.
Wait. Okay, so let's compare our industry to another industry.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
can we compare our industry to, let's say, the food service industry?
Sure.
Because I have expectations of a snack.
Oh, I do love a snack. And you know what?
What?
Having worked in food service before and also very close to someone who currently works in food service, I will be happy to tell you a story about expectations of food service after our snack.
Lowered expectations.
Not always.
Not always. All right, snack break.
All right,
Lynn,
we're back.
I am coming back from snack break expecting a story.
Well,
I was promised a story.
Well, okay, I'll give you a story. Here we go. Okay, everybody.
I was told, what is the line from Office Space? I was told there would be.
Okay.
You
want a red stapler?
I have a red stapler.
I know you do. So let's compare nonprofit to food service, right?
Okay.
So Clay.
Yes.
You come to a business of good repute. I was going to say a business of ill repute, but you come to a restaurant.
Yes.
And the server comes over and places your order.
Yeah.
And you place your order with them for a beverage.
A beverage.
And an appetizer.
A frosty beverage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they come back.
Yes.
Empty-handed.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I'm thirsty.
Yes.
And they say, do you need more time before you order? And you're like,
no, I wanted my drink.
And where's my appy?
Where's my app?
Right. But they want to take your dinner order.
Right.
And you're like, but I want my drink.
Right.
And they're asking you for more things.
Right.
But they haven't given you your drink or your appetizer.
Right.
Right? Right. So you have an unrealistic expectation that I should give you the drink before you order dinner. Who are you? Why are you being so demanding?
You're right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. You're 100% right. And also the way I approach that situation as the diner, the customer, bears a lot in the
agreed.
Right.
Okay. So
hey, server friend, thank you. I appreciate that you need to turn the table. I was actually expecting that I would get my drink and my appetizer and wanted to make a decision on my dinner while I enjoyed those two things.
I'm not in a rush. Thank you.
Right. And hopefully in that situation,
she doesn't smack you.
Right. My response and their response is, oh, sure, we can adjust. Right.
I'll get right on top of that.
Let me get you your drink and your appetizer.
Sorry about that. The bar's backed up a little.
Or perhaps they say, I'm so sorry. We're in the middle of dinner rush. We are shorthanded tonight.
But they don't say I'm busy.
They don't not respond at all.
Oh, so, okay, let's try
Haley's Waitress. What's that song? Haley's Waitress, right? The one that you're trying to, and you're passing by like Haley's Comment. You know?
Let's try another industry then, because it's not fair to compare us to restaurants.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I got it. You run Swiss Colony, where they make the little sausages and yummy snacks.
Is that still a thing?
It is. My parents get a catalog.
I love it.
And you get your Swiss Colony catalog, and you order a cheese gift for yourself, because who doesn't need cheese? Spreadable cheese.
Spreadable cheese
for yourself. And so you call Swiss Colony, and you order your cheese gift, and they say, "Okay, Clay, no problem. It'll be there by in 7 to 10 business days."
Okay.
Great. And you are staring at the door, looking at your Ring camera every day, waiting for your cheese gift. They've sent you the tracking information.
Yep.
And before you receive your cheese gift, they call you on your phone and say, Clay, we'd like you to place your next order for your cheese gift. It's time to renew your cheese gift.
Yeah. Or even, and this has happened actually a fair amount, right? Before you get the order, they're sending you we'd like to know how satisfied you were.
Oh, I like that at a restaurant when they deliver the food and they're like, how is it? And I'm like, well, I haven't
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I haven't put my fork in it yet.
How is your ordering experience? You know what? It hasn't showed up yet.
Right. So, so you have an expectation of receiving your cheese gift.
Yes.
That you ordered.
I have an expectation.
Before they ask you if you want to order another one, correct?
That's
unreasonable. You're being demanding.
I have an expectation that the thing that I put my money towards is that I get what I receive.
But wait, I mean, there are people that give that buy millions of dollars worth of cheese gifts. They're more important.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Well, right.
And we have to actually make the cheese. And so getting you the gift takes us away from making the cheese.
I have worked in that fundraising shop. I have worked in that place where we had to do the fundraising. We had to deliver programs ourselves. We had to deliver grants and grant writing reports and all of those things. I have an enormous amount of grace for how hard that is and how busy people are.
But are you being unreasonable because you want the cheese? Do you have an unreasonable expectation they deliver the cheese before they ask you for more cheese?
Right.
What should I expect?
Because I'm in the business of delivering cheese.
But what should I expect from people who are supposed to deliver things to me? So the nonprofit, we're in the business now, some might argue with me, of delivering on our mission.
Right.
The only way to do that is through donor funding most of the time.
Right.
Grants, funding, however, so through money. So don't I need to prioritize making some time for that? I'm not saying sacrifice the services you offer. Like, don't not make cheese.
I know I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
Our missions are a commitment to the communities we serve.
It's a covenant.
That is how we exist as nonprofits.
But don't you also have a covenant between you when you take my money?
Exactly. And when we invite someone, when we ask someone to fund that mission, we invite someone to be a part of that. That is what we're doing. We have a responsibility. It's just like, we talk about donors as customers, which I don't buy into that analogy.
And I'm not,
we can pick that. If we have to use an analogy, I see donors more as investors.
Absolutely.
And by law,
don't I invest?
By law, in public companies, investors have to be told the return on their investment. The public companies have to report to their investors. This is why we have a whole stock market, right? This is why we get it on the news.
And then, but now I want to give grace to the people who don't believe in consumerism and capitalism.
Sure,
and all
of
that.
course.
So fine. Not your choice. You can move somewhere else that's not a capitalist country. However, I think we also need to give grace. This is a generous person.
Yep.
We find out he also is a volunteer.
Yep.
He's a donor, so he's generous, right? And the backlash of this article from people was astounding to me.
What surprised me was the vehemence.
Yeah,
there was some real
intolerance,
anger.
Right, there were a lot of feelings.
Which, okay, but can we acknowledge that there are those feelings and that it
touched a nerve.
It touched a nerve and some very tough issues that we need to address. Because my immediate question is, and I say this candidly, having spent 30 years and having almost solved the problem, right? If you are so busy, if you are so stressed out that you can't send some acknowledgement to the people that you are asking to give you money, right?
Close up shop is my opinion, but Clay might be more grace-filled.
I go, what's wrong with your systems? Let's fix your systems.
And I say, then you didn't get in it for the right. Then your priorities are askew.
We're tomato.
Right. So, and here's the thing. I definitely think this touched a nerve. There was vehemence that I didn't expect. I understand that this gentleman caller did not communicate himself with a massive, grace-filled tone, and he might have been stern. However, I don't think he's the problem.
Well, if someone like this who has access to and can get an op-ed in a very public opinion,
I think he just probably wrote an email.
True. I still go back to the $50, the $100, the $250.
This guy's given $1,000 to $5,000 at a pop.
Sure. But all of these people that are out there in our community that are giving money and responding to need that then don't hear a word. Did my $100 do anything? Did my $250 do anything? And, let's also be fair. We put a lot of pressure on, it has to be right. It has to look exactly right.
No, it needs to go out.
It needs to go out.
But so is it unrealistic that when I give something, whether it be my money for a service, my money for a product, my money for a donation, whether I invest in something, is it unrealistic for simple gratitude as well? Like, where have we gone awry as an industry? And I say this because I teach an attitude of gratitude that yes, some days I'm tired. Yes, some days donors are demanding. Yes, some days we have a lot going on at work, outside of work. We work in an industry that's tough. But where did we lose simple common courtesy? So I'll give you the example. So what if I give feedback and why is someone not saying thank you for the feedback? It helps us get better. Some of the toughest conversations I've had in my life have been with people closest to me, including Clay, where I received feedback and then I gave gratitude for the feedback, even though it hurt my soul.
Yeah. And I love that you said this, and thank you for saying that, because you're 100% correct. And sometimes hearing that feedback can be very hard on us. And there is a bit of me that went, some of this vehement, some of this response might have been that it touched some nerves.
Thou doth protest too much, eh?
Right. And also, there is the flip side that does have to be considered of where is the line of what we call donor dominance? Where is the line where no, thank you, donor, I appreciate your opinion. We are the experts. You trust us to be the experts in delivering the program. And if you want to say so and how this program is constructed, then perhaps we are not the right charity
fit for you. Then don't accept the money.
Then don't accept the money. Right.
Then don't, honestly, if I go to that restaurant and I want filet mignon and all they serve is chicken strips, what am I doing there?
Correct.
I'm going to be unhappy the moment I get my food.
But see, when we position out in the world, whether it's on our website, whether it's in our appeals, our annual reports, whatever it may be, we position out in the world. This is the mission that we serve, and this is how we do it. And in order to do it, we need your contribution.
So here's my contribution, Clay. May I please have some gratitude?
We have made a commitment that this is what we do. And that is what they are.
How am I supposed to know that you do it if you don't tell me?
Precisely.
And what a lot of the complaints were is, well, go on our website, or you need to go figure out. So am I also supposed to go back into the kitchen and pick up my food and bring it out?
We cannot. I mean, this is.
So what's the punchline, Clay? Boil it down.
The punchline is we don't get to exist in a vacuum.
Ooh.
That transparency in our sector is required of us. And that means telling our funders and our communities what we are doing with the mission they have entrusted to you. In the state of Nevada, in the Attorney General's handbook for nonprofits, it literally says this: the trustees of a nonprofit organization hold the organization's mission in trust for the good of the people of the state of Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
I take that as a mandate. I'm doing this mission for the good of the state, and therefore I have a responsibility to report back to the people, to report back to the communities, to report back to the people that I have asked to fund it. I have a responsibility to tell them how their mission is done. We can get into, right,
how and why.
And if you add a little
thank you,
language,
isn't that nice?
All forget receipts. Most donors need is, hey, Lynn,
we got your gift and we're putting it to work.
We were so delighted to get your gift the other day. Thank you so much. You're making the mission happen. In the next few weeks and months, we will let you know how your gift has been used. You're wonderful. Thank you for being a part of this important work with us.
It kind of reminds me of, and we'll close out here because I know we're going a little long, but it kind of reminds me of because we've had some donors who have treated us irresponsibly. We've had some donors with skewed priorities. So now we're applying that same lens to everyone and saying, oh, these privileged people, and how dare they expect things from us? And folks, donors aren't the enemy.
Yeah.
We're all on the same team.
And the reason donors give is because they want to be a part of the team.
Absolutely. And they believe in us and they believe in our organization. We also need to believe in them.
I kind of love that. I kind of love that.
The punchline is, let's believe in each other because we need each other to solve the problems of the world.
Assume positive intent.
That's a lovely one. Thanks, Clay. Now, if you want to give us your thoughts on the article, we'll post it in the show notes. We're not going to post the responses. We'll post the original article. You go do the digging that you need to do on fundraisingisfunny.com. And we are so grateful to each and every one of you. And we
are.
want to deliver on the promise that we're going to be funny, that we're going to have some things to ponder. And so we are pondering this. How is it that we are so fortunate to have each of you listening to
I
us?
feel like peeking the brain. Hey, Lynn, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Oh, I do love a
I think so, brain, but when are we going to get pants in my size?
Oh, okay. And yeah. And on that note, Clay and I are going to go work on his blood sugar level.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.